So you're back to see part 2 of my trip to Japan. Yay! In part 2, I am visiting Kyoto. Catching the bullet train between Tokyo and Kyoto was surprisingly easy, and I really enjoyed the views of Mount Fuji out the right-hand side of the train. I was overall very impressed with the Crown Plaza Kyoto. The room was very clean and spacious, but the view out the window was exceptionally ordinary. The hotel was a very convenient 5-minute walk from Nijo Castle, which is one of the main listed tourist attractions of Kyoto. I loved the architecture, and I do feel that this was a really good starting place for our trip to Kyoto. The weather was really lovely. It was a very picturesque day, and the landscape and the gardens were just very nice to walk through. Upon our return to the hotel, we discovered they do in fact have a koi pond with the cutest little koi fish. The next day, we decided to go out to Arashiyama, which is also one of the main tourist attractions listed for Kyoto. To get there from the hotel, we had to catch the metro first, then swap over to the light rail. The light rail platform was a narrow strip of raised bricks, which I thought was very interesting. And I thought overall catching the light rail out to Arashiyama was quick and efficient, and it was quite a nice view out the window. The arrival into Arashiyama station was quite lovely with a view of the Kimono forest there. From the second that I stepped off the light rail train, though, I did realise that this is definitely a tourist part of town. There were people absolutely everywhere. The main listed attraction in Arashiyama is the Bamboo Grove, and there certainly was a lot of bamboo. I really like bamboo. I found it very cute to walk through and quite calming as well. As soon as we had completed the bamboo walk, it started to rain. As I had forgotten my umbrella this day, I walked around for a little bit with my hood up and took in the scenery, but then eventually decided to head back to the station. Once back at the Arashiyama station, I noticed that the Kimono forest was actually a lot bigger than I thought. I loved looking at all the different colours and all the different patterns. I did notice a lot of locals and tourists taking pictures for social media. I then had an ice cream before boarding the light rail back into Kyoto. Because the trip out to Arashiyama took less time than we thought, we sort of just aimlessly wandered around Kyoto, and I have to admit, Kyoto is very picturesque. Looking down a lot of the streets, I noticed that a lot of the cherry blossoms were blooming. Even in the rain, they look so pretty, and I just can't help myself but to film them. There are so many temples in Kyoto. We came across this particular one and it looked really interesting from the outside, so we decided to go in, and overall I was really impressed by the upkeep and detail of the temple. There are vending machines all through Japan, but it amazed me that even the temple had 7 vending machines all lined up. After the temple, we made our way into Higashiyama. Despite the cute walk, at this point the rain was getting a little bit annoying, so we decided to do something indoors. We stumbled across this shopping street and then went to a British pub for a Long Island iced tea. After doing over 20,000 steps, we went back to the hotel. The next day I went down to visit the fish first, and they are just so cute. I really like them. I wish I could take them home with me. Thankfully, the weather today was a lot better. The sun was out, it was about 24 degrees, and it was awesome. So we caught the Kyoto Metro, which is really quick and easy to use, out to the Fushimi Inari shrine. Honestly, there were a lot of people here, equal to that of Arashiyama, but I was very keen to check it out. So I'm here now at the Fushimi Inari shrine, and it's pretty impressive and really colourful, and I'm really pleased that the weather is the exact opposite to what it was yesterday. It's now like 24 and sunny, not a cloud in the sky. It's amazing. I only had limited information on this shrine, just really what I had seen on Google, and I honestly thought it was just going to be a few orange pillars. What I didn't factor in is it opens up into this incredible walk. And it also is quite a hike because you do go up a lot of stairs. Along this epic hike, I also saw some very strange sights. I saw women climbing up the stairs in heels, and I saw people lugging really big suitcases up the stairs. The people did seem to thin out a bit though the higher up I went, and I started to see less and less big suitcases. The poles were mostly wood, however some of them were made from other materials too. I didn't actually make it to the top, however we did stop when we reached all of these shrines. At this point my feet were hating me, however it is a lot easier to go down the stairs than it is to go up. We spent a little bit of time in Inari before catching the train back into Kyoto. We hopped off the train at Kyoto Station and decided to have a little look around and see what's in the area. We came across the Kyoto Tower, which is only about $10 per person to go up and offers fantastic views of Kyoto. I always like going up towers like this because being elevated does offer a fresh perspective on the city. Underneath Kyoto Tower, we discovered a little food hall which serves strawberry beer. A bizarre taste, but it was absolutely delicious. We then had gyozas to go with it as well. We then caught the metro back to our local station and walked back to the hotel, noticing a beautiful sunset along the way. We then retired for the night. The next day, it was time to check out and say goodbye to the fish, and oh boy was I sad. I really became attached to those fish. Wet weather just proves my point that hard shell bags are superior. But overall, it was very easy to catch the JR with the Pasmo card. Thank you for watching this little travel vlog, and please stay tuned for part 3 where I visit Osaka.